Here we have a vector valued function r given by sine t I cap plus cosine of t j cap plus t times k cap. We need to obtain the first derivative of vector r and its magnitude, and also the second derivative of vector r and its magnitude. So let us begin with part 1. We'll begin with by determining the first derivative of a vector valued function r. So we have dr vector over dt, so that's equals to, so we'll have to take the derivative of each of the components of I cap, j cap and k cap. Here we are going to use the fact that the derivative of the unit vector I cap is going to be equals to 0. That's because this is I cap is a constant vector, and this will be true for the unit vector j cap as well as the unit vector k cap. The derivative with respect to parameter t is going to be equals to 0. All we have to do is take the derivative of the respective component. So derivative of the sine function is cosine of t. So with cosine of t I cap plus derivative of the cosine function, that will be negative sine t j cap plus derivative of t, which is going to be 1. So we have 1 times k cap. To find out its magnitude, let's do that as well. So the derivative of the magnitude of the first derivative of vector r, that will be equals to, we'll take the square root, and within the square root we will take the square of the components and add them to each other. So we have cosine squared t plus negative sine t whole square, so that will be sine squared t plus 1 square. We know that cosine squared t plus sine squared t, that's equals to 1. So we have square root of 2. So this is going to be the magnitude of our first derivative of the vector valued function r. Then we will find out the second derivative of our vector valued function. All we have to do is take the derivative of each of the components of the first derivative. So the derivative of the cosine function, that will be the sine function. We have negative sine of t I cap plus derivative of negative sine t, so that will be negative cosine t j cap, and derivative of 1 being a constant, so that will be 0. So that means we do not have any z component, right? So this is going to be the second derivative of our vector valued function r. Now we will find out its magnitude. So all we have to do is take the square root, square each of the components and add them to each other. So we have sine squared t plus cosine squared t. Now this is an identity with a value of 1 and square root of 1, so that will be equals to 1. So this is going to be the magnitude of the second derivative of our vector valued function r.